මිහාරවනි හුළුවිෆා
PSM එයායින් වෝට් දෙවා මි ගවමි ෆෝරීගා බෑවරි වෙලව්වා
ವೋಟ್ಲುಂಗೆ ಸುಂಗಡಿಯಕಿ ಫಣರ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ 2026
Making headlines this hour, Minister of Social and Family Development Dr. Aishat Shiham has stated that the state allowance for those with disabilities will not be cut even if they gain employment. Maldives Immigration urges foreigners working in the Maldives to ensure that they possess a valid e-visa that has not expired when traveling out of the country and returning back. And a total of 21 hectares of land has been reclaimed so far under the Land Reclamation Project for the construction of an airport in Diddu, Ha'alif Atoll.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. Minister of Social and Family Development Dr. Aishat Shiham states that the state allowance for those with disabilities will not be cut even if they gain employment.
Employment opportunities within the civil service are part of President Dr. Mohamed Muizz's pledge to support persons with disabilities. Procedures and systems are now in place to provide job opportunities through various state agencies, councils, and institutions. Speaking on the Tarjamana Eku program of the President's office, Minister Aishat Shiham revealed that over 350 people with disabilities have been provided jobs so far through government agencies and companies. Assuring that the program will continue uninterrupted, the minister said efforts are underway to create even further opportunities. Responding to concerns that disability allowance may be cut once employment is secured under these efforts, the minister said the disability allowance is protected by law and will continue alongside any other income or benefits. The minister further noted that the salaries for those with disabilities are equal to others, helping them contribute to family expenses. There will be no difference in pay based on disability, she stressed.
Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Saeed emphasizes that regular dialogue meetings with businesses are important to identify issues and improve services.
The minister made the statement while addressing a ceremony held on the occasion of Authentic Maldives' 6th anniversary. In his remarks, the minister said the government plans to continue holding meetings with small businesses in 2026 and 2027, together with concessions that President Dr. Mohamed Muizz has decided to provide to small businesses over the next 2 years. The government also provided several concessions and opportunities to businesses in 2025. Launched on January 9th, 2020, Authentic Maldives is now celebrating its 6th anniversary. The brand aims to promote, sell, and profit from local products, connecting artisans, small businesses, and entrepreneurs to local and international markets. With over 407 businesses registered as suppliers, Authentic Maldives enabled its suppliers to sell on the leading global e-commerce platform Alibaba in 2025. Over the last year, total revenue dispersed to suppliers increased from $1.71 million in 2024 to $2.01 million in 2025. A portion of payments is now issued in dollars, making imports easier.
Maldives Immigration urges foreigners working in the Maldives to ensure that they possess a valid e-visa that has not expired when traveling out of the country and returning back. The Maldives introduced its e-visa service on the 23rd of November last year, becoming the first in the region to do so. According to Maldives Immigration, all visa-related services are now online, changing how visas are issued to foreigners. Foreigners with a work permit can enter or exit the Maldives on a work visa only if they have a valid e-visa. Furthermore, newly arriving foreigners with a work permit must get an unexpired entry pass from the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology before entry. Highlighting employer responsibility in managing expatriate-related matters, Immigration said employers registered in the expat online system must confirm the validity of any previously issued unexpired work visas of employees. The e-visa's validity aligns with the work permit's validity. A permit can depart from the Maldives without completing the work visa process on only once and only within 15 days of entry, provided their work permit is still valid. The Maldives Police Service, or MPS, launches a major special operation under the Operation Alimago nationwide crackdown targeting sophisticated drug trafficking and money laundering networks.
The operation, which is ongoing, was conducted simultaneously this morning in the capital city of Male and across Gulf Alif Atoll. MPS stated that the operation is specifically aimed at individuals accused of high-level drug distribution and the financial crimes that support it. Tactics include target searches of suspected persons and related premises, with police affirming that all necessary measures will be taken in order to enforce the law. This large-scale effort is a coordinated initiative involving Southern Police Special Teams, intelligence units, and dedicated drug enforcement squads. To date, Operation Alimago has been conducted across 39 islands as part of a sustained national strategy to dismantle narcotics operations and seize illicit substances. While the police report an increasing volume of drugs being intercepted, they acknowledge ongoing challenges in successfully prosecuting these complex cases in court. The operation underscores a collaborative approach, with all relevant government and enforcement agencies working in tandem to find effective solutions and pursue the ultimate goal of a drug-free society.
The Elections Commission of Maldives, or ECM, receives 128 complaints so far regarding the vote list for the April Local Council and Women's Development Committee elections. According to the Commission, a total of 294,937 people are eligible to vote in the upcoming elections, including 144,527 women and 150,410 men, as per the vote list. While the Commission has opened complaints regarding the list, ECM said most complaints received relate to deceased persons still appearing on the list or incorrect personal information. The deadline to submit complaints via ECM's My Portal is 3 p.m. on the 18th of this month. Complaints and corrections must be supported by official documents such as identity cards or any official identification documents. The voter list is available on the ECM website, in the Government Gazette, and at local council offices, while polling details can be checked via SMS. The Maldives shipped a total of 329 tons of cargo through its sea-to-air cargo service in December last year, with consignments delivered to 20 countries.
Sea-to-air cargo is a logistics service that allows goods transported by sea to be transited onward to global destinations by air. The service was launched on the 15th of May 2024 and is widely used in international trade, generating significant economic benefits in many countries. In the Maldives, the service is jointly operated by Maldives Airports Company Limited, or MACL, and Maldives Ports Limited, or MPL. Sea sea-to-air cargo operations are currently connected to more than 17 international airlines. According to statistics released by Maldives Ports Limited, cargo was shipped to 20 countries through 10 airlines in December alone. The total volume amounted to 329 tons, equivalent to 66 20-foot equivalent units or TEUs based on container measurements. The airlines that transported cargo through the sea-to-air cargo service in December included Virgin Atlantic, Etihad Airways, Lufthansa, Qatar Airways, Turkish Airlines, Azerbaijan Airlines, Saudi Airlines, Swiss Airlines, ITA Airways, and Emirates. Officials said the sea-to-air cargo service continues to expand and has already generated millions of dollars for the national economy. With the Maldives served by a wide network of international airlines, authorities noted that there is significant potential to further expand the service and increase cargo volumes in the future.
A total of 21 hectares of land is reclaimed so far under the land reclamation project for the construction of an airport in Diddu, Ha Alif Atoll. The reclamation work is being carried out by Maldives Airports Company Limited or MACL.
Under the project, a total of 115 hectares of land will be added to the island. Reclamation works commenced on the 5th of January, and with 21 hectares reclaimed to date, 18.75% of the total project has now been completed. Officials said the dredger being used for the Diddu reclamation is among the largest in the world. The train suction hopper dredger, named Liv Eriksson, has a capacity of 46,000 cubic meters. It is the third dredger deployed by the government to accelerate land reclamation works. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz visited Diddu last year, where he met residents and reiterated development pledges made during the presidential election campaign. The president said such pledges were made with confidence in their feasibility. He described the airport project as a key component of Diddu's medium and long-term development plan, as well as the broader development strategy for the entire atoll. As pledged, the project has now commenced and is progressing at a rapid pace. The land reclamation project for the airport is expected to address long-standing challenges related to land scarcity in Diddu airport development and housing land allocation. Once completed, the project will effectively double the size of the existing island. The Global Sumud Flotilla Coalition, a group leading international efforts to challenge the occupation of Gaza, pledges to persist in its mission despite recent confrontations with Israeli forces. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, coalition members detailed their experiences and future plans following a high-profile incident where their ships were intercepted and participants detained by Israeli authorities before being released under global pressure. A four-member steering committee delegation comprising Tiago, Brazil, Saif Abukashek, Palestine, Mohammad Nadir Al-Nouri, Malaysia, and Cleoniki Alexopoulos, Greece, visited the Maldives from the 6th to the 8th of January to share insights from their recent voyage. The trip, which saw over 500 activists from 44 countries, was met with a violent response as Israeli forces boarded their ships at sea, arresting participants in what the coalition described as a violation of international law. Tiago Avila, a participant, recounted harrowing conditions in detention centers, alleging that facilities previously used to torture Palestinians still bore signs of abuse, including accounts of sexual and physical violence. Despite the dangers, the delegation affirmed their commitment to organizing a larger flotilla this spring, expecting 3,000 participants from 100 countries. Saif Abukashek highlighted improved logistical planning, including safety measures against Israeli drone attacks and naval blockades, while calling for technical maritime support from nations like the Maldives. The coalition remains undeterred, framing their mission as a moral imperative to expose Palestinian suffering and pressure Israel to end its siege of Gaza.
The Ministry of Tourism and Environment announces plans for a 50-room eco-tourist hotel in the Falu Fonadu Shaviani Atoll, marking a significant step toward sustainable tourism development in the region.
Known for its rich biodiversity, including seasonal flamingo visits and thriving mud crab populations, the lagoon is poised to become a model for eco-friendly hospitality. Interested investors have until the 12th of January to submit bids for the project, which will feature at least 100 beds alongside eco-conscious amenities. The broader development plan includes a water sports platform, a mud crab breeding center, a floating restaurant, and protected zones for wildlife, ensuring minimal environmental disruption. Aligned with the government's Catenate project, supported by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, the Global Environmental Facility, or GEF, the initiative aims to balance tourism growth with conservation. A sustainable financing mechanism, including startup grants, will support long-term ecological and economic benefits for locals. The Farocolo Nature Park, part of the blueprint, will promote nature-based tourism while safeguarding the lagoon's ecosystems. Community consultations will shape the final design, emphasizing equitable resource use. The ministry stated that the project will allow visitors to experience the Maldives' pristine beauty while preserving it for future generations.
India's Adani Enterprises plans to aggressively bid for 11 airports that the federal government plans to lease to the private sector as part of the company's $11 billion expansion strategy for airport infrastructure over the next 5 years.
Billionaire Gautam Adani-led conglomerate has embarked on an expansion spree in recent years, with its airport subsidiary becoming the largest operator in India by numbers of airports. India's other major aviation player, the GMR Group, is the largest operator by number of passengers handled. The Indian government is leasing out government-owned airports for long periods to private players while incentivizing building new ones. It plans to have 350 to 400 airports by 2047 from 163 currently. Earlier this year, New Delhi outlined plans to lease out 11 airports, including Amritsar and Varanasi.
We'll be bidding for all of them. Okay. Now we'll see how the bid turns out if we win all.
Adani Airports manages 7 airports across India and is set to operationalize the first airport it has built from scratch, a new airport near Mumbai, this month. Jeet Adani said there is no fixed timeline for a public listing of AAHL, but an initial public offering or a demerger would depend on achieving some milestones, including the business becoming cash positive. He said currently AAHL is largely EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization positive, but due to the capital expenditure cycle, more cash needs to be deployed. When asked about a possible valuation for the business, Jeet Adani said that has not been set, but the company will look at comparable multiples when deciding that Adani and GMR are rushing to tap into booming air travel in India. About 174 million passengers traveled from and within the South Asian country by air in 2024, 10% more than a year ago, data from the International Air Transport Association showed. Indian Airlines have placed orders for over 1,300 aircraft since 2023. Jeet Adani said the company has no plans to enter the airline business, citing thin margins.
Tehran threatens to retaliate against Israel and U.S. bases in the event of U.S. strikes on Iran, delivering the warning to Washington as Israeli sources said Israel was on high alert for the possibility of any U.S. intervention. With Iran's clerical establishment facing the biggest anti-government protests since 2022, U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened to intervene in recent days, warning Iranian leaders against using force against demonstrators. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, speaking in Parliament on Sunday, warned the United States against a miscalculation. 3 Israeli sources who were present for Israeli security consultations over the weekend said
said Israel was on high alert footing but did not elaborate on what that meant. An Israeli government spokesperson declined to comment. The Israeli military didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Israel and Iran fought a 12-day war in June, in which the U.S. joined Israel in launching airstrikes. Iran retaliated for those U.S. strikes by firing missiles at an American airbase in Qatar. Protests have spread across Iran since December 28th, beginning in response to soaring inflation and quickly turning political when protesters demanding an end to clerical rule. Authorities accuse the U.S. and Israel of fomenting unrest.
Elina Svitolina is tested by China's Wang Xinyu in the Auckland Open final, but came through 6-3, 7-6 to kick off her new season with her 19th WTA title.
The 31-year-old baseliner was not quite firing on all cylinders as she continued her preparations for the Australian Open after a lengthy break, but had enough quality and experience to get past her aggressive 24-year-old opponent. Wang, playing her second WTA final but still seeking her first title, troubled Svitolina early on with some deep ground strokes and well-executed drop shots, but too often allowed the world number 13 off the hook with some simple errors. Watched from the sidelines by husband Gael Monfils, Svitolina broke for 4-2 on the back of a Wang error and served out with an ace to seal the opening set 3 games later. World number 57 Wang had 3 break points in the 4th game of the second stanza, but top seed Svitolina found her first serve when it mattered to get out of trouble. Breaking Wang again proved a tougher task, and the match was decided in a tiebreaker, Svitolina digging deep to rally from 3-0 down and make some amends for losing to Coco Gauff in the 2024 final.
Despite sub-zero temperatures of around -8 degrees Celsius, Berlin swimmers take to the Orankasi Lake at the northeast of the city.
In the 40th year of their winter dip tradition, the club Berlin Seals and other friendly clubs hosted a circus event, inviting people and their regular members to turn up in fancy dresses and circus attire. Members of the Berlin Seals, who are aged between 12 and almost 90, go swimming every Sunday from mid-September to the end of April, and many have done so for decades. Seasoned Berlin Seal Michael Blaklinski told Reuters he even started the hobby even before the club got established and came to the Orankasi Lake. Head of the club, Peggy Mueller, told Reuters she believed the swimmers were excited to get into the water. The Berlin Seals, who usually swim naked when no cameras are around, have their origin in what used to be East Berlin, capital of the former German Democratic Republic or GDR, where nude swimming was widespread and perceived as normal. The 190-member club said it has become so popular over the decades that it is currently unable to accept new members.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.